video. Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be talking about 10 titles that are going to be coming out from DC come the reboot revamping in September and August. These are the first 10 titles that have been announced, and along with those titles, we get some of the art, some of the new costumes that are coming with them. In addition to that, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the stuff that can be read in between the lines. There's some hints here and there on exactly what's going to come out of this reboot. If you don't know anything about this reboot at all, I recommend checking out my previous video where I give a first general thoughts of this, and then also hopping over to IGN.com to get full details. IGN.com is the website that has been covering it probably the best. So I recommend going there, and that's also where I'm getting my information right now from, IGN.com. So you can either follow around with me, or you can go check it out afterwards, or you could pause my video and go check it out now. Or whatever, doesn't matter. So let's first talk a little bit about what this reboot may mean. If you look at some of the titles that they're talking about, some of them state that they're going to be completely new stories, talking about these characters, talking about these new comics coming out, almost like origin stories. But at some of the other titles, like the new Justice League that's coming out by Geoff Johns and Jim Lee, it's stated that the title suggests that like Brightest Day and Generation Lost is still very important, which is going to be interesting seeing that DC is going to be trying to brand them as a new continuity, which makes me think that this reboot is going to be very much like has very light tones from the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where it's going to be very much that some history is going to stay intact, but it's like a fresh start. Because after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, much of the Silver Age was still kind of canon, but they started off with like Batman Year One, Gods, Immortals, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be interesting where we go from here on that. So they showed Justice League, done by Geoff Johns and Jim Lee. Brian Azzarello, I always say his name wrong. Excuse me for a second. Okay, sorry. Brian Azzarello is going to be doing Wonder Woman #1, which looks good, and I'm excited for that. We also have Geoff Johns hopping into Aquaman #1. Flash #1 is going to have Francis Manapul. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. I'm horrible at pronunciation when it comes down to names, so if I butcher any names, just let me know. I know people actually do. A really cool looking The Fury of Firestorm #1 by Ethan Van Sciver, Gal Simone, and Yaldrai Sinair. Please correct me on these pronunciations. That's good. Here's something I'm pretty excited for. Savage Hawkman #1 by Tony Daniel. For two reasons. One, actually three. One, it's Hawkman. Two, it's Hawkman Savage. 3 is Tony Daniels, and he kicks ass. Philip Tan's going to jump on that too. Green Arrow #1. We'll see how things go with that. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Justice League International #1 by Dan Jurgens. Boom! Dan Jurgens jumping in. And from what it looks like on this picture that I'm looking at right now, on the Justice League #1, we have the core 7 members. And most particularly noted, it looks like Bruce Wayne is the one drawn there. And then on this new Justice League International, it looks kind of like Dick, but with the new Bruce costume. I don't know if that makes sense. Actually, it does look a lot like Bruce. Bruce could be on both teams. He should, because you should have a Justice League with both teams. And along on this team, I see Red Rocket, Fire Ice, Vixen, who looks very nice in her new costume, Guy Gardner, whose costume hasn't changed at all, and 2 other characters I'm not 100% familiar with. So we're going to move on. Whoopsie. In the Boom. Mr. Terrific is up next by Eric Wallace and Roger Robinson. And then not lastly, but we have Captain Atom by J.T. Kroll and Frederick Williams II. And finally, DC Universe Presents Anthology, which is an anthology series that's going to look at the new DC Universe and how its cast of characters are going to be presented with. So I'm just going to run through out of these titles right now what I will be picking up and what I'm going to be most interested in. One is obviously the Justice League comic. I'm definitely interested in that. Justice League is one of my favorite comics. I'm going to stay pretty much loyal and true to the comics I already read. Wonder Woman I'm going to read. Aquaman I'm going to read. Flash I'm going to read. I'm very interested in this new Firestorm. The art on it looks really good, and if they do things well, you know, Firestorm has been a character that has been constantly growing on me, so depending on how things go with this, it could turn out very nice. Then we have Savage Hawkman, which I'm looking forward to. I might dip into Green Arrow. It depends. The costume looks really cool, but the thing about Green Arrow is he's been portrayed, at least in my opinion, as a complete, utter douchebag in comics. He's horrible to his adopted children. He's horrible to his real children. He's horrible to his wife. He's just plain, well, an asshole. So we'll see how things work out. If this Green Arrow portrayal is better, I might actually go on to the series and give it a chance. And then let's move on. Justice League International I'm going to get, obviously. And Booster Gold's costume looks pretty badass, I have to say. I'm not sure about Mr. Terrific. I'm teeter-tottering. I don't really know too much about Mr. Terrific because I don't really read Justice Society. I hear he's a great character, so I might give it a chance. I'm not 100% sure. Same thing goes for Captain Atom. I actually like Captain Atom as a character, but I'm not 100% sure he's going to be able to carry a comic himself. He should really be on the JLI team. He's more of a team-up character than anything, in my opinion. And then we are going to move into the DC Universe Presents. Maybe. Probably going to pick up. So far, all these titles look good. As I said, if you read between the lines, hinting towards some of the stuff could still be canon in the DC Universe. It's like I said, this is going to be like a Crisis on Infinite Earth, where it's going to start things over and just retell the characters, and some things will still be canon. Which is fine, it's good. It's, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to warm up to this a bit more. If a lot of stuff we've already read is still canon, then I will definitely be warming up to this. The only major concern I have right now is what about characters like Tim Drake, Donna Troy, Jaime, you know, Cassandra Sandmark, Cassandra Cain, really third to fourth generation sidekicks that and characters in general that have really been rich in our comic book readings that we have grown to love. Are we going to wait for 3 Robins before we get Tim again? Are we going to get Dick as Nightwing again and then have Tim as Robin, or Tim as Red Robin and Damian as Robin? Exactly how things are going to go there, I don't know. That's one of the things I am kind of worried about, but we'll see how it plays out. I have to say, I might have, and I will be honest, I might have jumped the gun, overreacted a little with this reboot. However, I'm still like everything, I'm going to go in with an open mind and going to allow everything to either succeed or fail. So I'm going to stand by what I said last night, but at the same time, I am going to, I am a little excited. I guess I'm also excited because I'm going to be collecting issues. And other than Buffy and Angel, I never really collected issues before, so we'll give that a chance. So with that said, this is just a quick update. I'll put the link at the bottom. And until this reboot actually happens, I'm going to try to bring you guys as much information, as much news as I can when it comes out. Because, you know, you guys, you need to stay informed on this if you're a comic book fan. You got to stay informed on this. So with that said, just before I go, I'm going to be posting up some video game reviews. I'm going to do some of... real quickly, I'm going to do the new Wonder Woman Odyssey sometime. It came out. I just haven't picked it up. In addition to that, my friends and I are going to try to do the Pokemon battles for the card game. I have collected a lot more, so we are going to be jumping into that and see how well that goes. If there's any questions, comments, or if you want to just voice your opinion in a video response or in the comment box, please do. I'm always interested to hear what you guys say. You guys are just like me, you're fellow comic book geeks, and I always appreciate hearing your opinions on the matter. Lastly, I know I said this before, I'll say this again. Go to IGN.com, check this out, I'll post a link. I think this is important information, and I'll try to keep you up to date as much as I can. So with that said, I'm going to end this review here. It's not a review, people! Well, actually, you could technically say it was a review. I am reviewing the new material. So I am going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.